Here's the big challenge of life. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. That's the challenge. And of course, the other side of the coin reads, unless you change how you are, you'll always have what you got. I keenly feel two responsibilities, and I'm sure you can guess what those are. Number one is to make sure you get your money's worth, right, when you shell out your hard-earned cash. And when you spend your hard-earned cash, you want to make sure you get your money's worth. So hopefully by the time we finish tonight, you'll have your money's worth. But I think I have a bigger responsibility, and that is to make sure you get your time's worth. And I say that because time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, right, but you can't get more time. When you spend a day, you've got one less day to spend. So hopefully by the time we finish tonight, you'll have your time's worth as well as your money's worth. Does everybody have note paper? Some note paper. If you don't have some, borrow from your neighbor. Make sure you've got something to take notes on. The ideas I want to share with you tonight, I started listening to at age 25. At a time in my life when I needed some additional ideas to help get my life straightened out and headed in a little better direction. Well, at age 25, good fortune came my way. And sometimes it's a little difficult to describe good fortune. Why do unique things happen to you when they do? I don't know. Part of that's a mystery to me. One of my friends says, well, things don't just happen. They happen just. At age 25, I met a very remarkable man. He was a businessman. He was wealthy, apparently looked very happy, prosperous to me when I met him. And my good fortune was, a few months after I met this unique man, his name was Mr. Schoaf, Mr. Earl Schoaf. He hired me, gave me a job, and I went to work for him. And I spent the next 5 years working for him. And during that 5-year period, Mr. Schoaf shared with me his ideas that helped to change my life. I spent 5 years with this very remarkable man. And the best thing he gave me during that period of time was not a job. The best thing he gave me was the benefit of his philosophy. How to be wealthy, how to be happy. And his ideas worked for me. Then about 16, 17 years ago, I was living in Beverly Hills. And I was going through all the notes that I'd gathered up during that period. In fact, that's one of the major things Mr. Schoaf taught me. Take good notes. Don't miss anything. Don't make your mind a filing cabinet trying to remember everything. Jot it down. If you hear something good, jot it down. If you think something good, put it on paper. Then you can go over it. Repetition is the mother of skill. And someday those ideas, if you repeat them often enough, they'll take root and start to grow. And someday they'll show up in your bank account, and your personality, and your language, and your dress, and your lifestyle. What I would like to do is to share with you what I think made the major difference for me. I don't claim to have all the answers for doing well, but I've got some that worked for me. I'm going to cover 5 subjects. Okay, the first subject is personal development, which is the best place to start, right? If you don't start there, nothing much is going to happen. Here's the big challenge of life. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. That's the challenge. And of course, the other side of the coin reads, unless you change how you are, you'll always have what you got. I have found in my experience that income does not far exceed personal development. Now, sometimes income takes a lucky jump, but sure enough, unless you grow out where it is, it'll usually come back where you are. Life has strange ways. If somebody hands you $1 million, best you become a millionaire quickly, so you get to keep the money. Otherwise, sure enough, it'll disappear. Somebody once said, if you took all the money in the world, divided it up equally among everybody, it would soon all be back in the same pockets. Incredible. Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. Success is looking for a good place to stay. So instead of going after it, you work on yourself. Personal development. Next subject is called basic laws. And I call these basics primarily because they come from the Bible. Mr. Shelf taught me that the Bible was a good textbook for ideas and stories and success equations, how to live the better life. I found out that was true. He also taught me that the Bible is as practical as it is spiritual, and I found out that's true. If you look at your bank account and your income and you're not happy, there are several places in the Bible to check to see what the heck's wrong so you can make the changes. The next subject is my favorite, setting goals. Mr. Shelf taught me how to set goals. What a favor that was. One morning at breakfast, shortly after I met him, he said, "Jim, let me see your current list of goals and let's go over them and talk about them." He said, "Maybe that's the best way I can help you get a better direction started." And I said, "I don't have a list." I said, "You mean my bank balance would change if I had a list of goals?" He said, "Drastically." That day I became a willing student how to set goals. And sure enough, learning how to set goals changed my life. And I often wondered why no one had ever taught me how to set goals up until age 25. I went to high school, but if they offered it, I missed it. I went to college for a year, never heard it. I worked for Sears. Really. And to my knowledge, Sears never taught it. Right? How to set goals. So here I am, age 25, married, my family's starting, I've been to college, I'm working, and I still don't know how to set goals. But fortunately, when I was 25, I met the man who taught me how, and it revolutionized my whole life. Economically, socially, personally, it's incredible. The next subject is the negative part of the seminar. Life is part negative, so we got to talk about the negative. And this subject is called diseases of attitude. There's a lot of things that can wreck your chances to do well. We live in a rather dangerous world, so you got to be not only wise, you got to be careful. The attitude diseases are deadly. I mean, they'll destroy all the good things you start. And I'm a pro on these because I've had them all, so I can give you excellent advice on these. Now, the last subject we're going to consider tonight is called the day that turns your life around. And under this subject, we're going to talk about the emotions that can change your life. Human beings are emotional creatures, and emotions are powerful for life change. Now, of course, emotions are so powerful they can go either way on you. Emotions can either build or destroy. So you really have to employ emotions properly. We call civilization the intelligent management of human emotions. If you can intelligently apply your emotions in the right direction, no telling what can happen. Could turn your life around one day would be sufficient.